In the meantime, it is authorizing some government agencies to operate drones now for crew training, equipment development, or demonstration.
Public safety.
Benjamin Miller recently told the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee he has operated 2 drones for the Mesa County, Colorado Sheriff's Department for the past 4 years.
I estimate unmanned aircraft can complete 30% of the missions of manned aviation for 2% of the cost.
Since 2007, more than 1,400 government permits have been issued to various organizations around the country. Today, more than 300 of those permits remain active for research universities, military organizations, and police departments. As other agencies around the country wait for their opportunity to be able to use drones, individual hobbyists continue experimenting. We found this website story by college journalists completely composed of video shot by a drone's camera. One likely reason that drone use is on the rise is that the cost of these devices is relatively cheap. For example, this one is very similar to the one that the Russell County Sheriff's Department uses, and it is just $300. But in the future, building drones for commercial use could be big business. Dozens of American cities are now competing to win 6 government contracts to host drone test sites for the federal government. Michael Toscano is the chief lobbyist for drone manufacturers. In March, he told the Senate Judiciary Committee that drone production is job creation.
The unmanned aircraft industry is poised to create 70,000 new jobs and $13.6 billion of economic impact within the first 3 years of following integration of unmanned aircraft into the national airspace.
Agriculture.
Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, the top Republican on the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee, acknowledged there's a fine line between the benefits of drone technology and potential threats to American privacy rights.
We need to make sure that we have sufficient legal safeguards in place to promote innovation while balancing public safety and the privacy of law-abiding citizens.
One place to find those safeguards, say privacy advocates, is by making a Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, license to operate a drone conditional on certain privacy protections.
I also support, as a stopgap, the idea of asking the Federal Aviation Administration to consider privacy as one of the prerequisites to issuing licenses. I think that all makes a lot of sense.
But privacy rights advocate Amy Stepanovich says there's still a long way to go. She tracks the use of unmanned aircraft around the nation and says lawmakers are just now recognizing the need for new laws.
Over 30 states have introduced legislation on this issue. However, Congress can provide nationwide baseline privacy standards in order to ensure that individual rights and civil liberties are protected against drone surveillance.
Stepanovich points to the case of 56-year-old Randy Brossert of Lakota, North Dakota. He faces charges of terrorizing, theft, and criminal mischief for cattle theft. A Nelson County Sheriff's deputy secured a warrant to search Brossert's property, but it was the method of search that has raised questions. A U.S. military Predator drone from a nearby Air Force base verified that Brossert's sons were unarmed, allowing sheriffs to take them into custody peacefully. Back in Virginia, Claire Gustiniaga says that exact situation is the one she fears the most.
The worst case scenario is the drones are used to surveil people 24/7 without any indication that the people that are being watched have ever committed a crime or are suspected of committing a crime.
Tell it to land. I hit the button. It did itself.
Meantime, until Virginia's 2-year ban on using unmanned aircraft expires, the Russell County Sheriff's drone may only be used in the case of a state-sanctioned emergency. And in Buchanan County, Virginia, Sheriff Ray Foster says he's looking for other tools to prevent new names from being added to this memorial stone.
Our thanks to Jessica Stone for that report. In recent weeks, the argument in favor of using drones to protect people at large public events has gained traction. After the Boston Marathon bombings, Boston's chief of police, Ed Davis, said he thinks it's a great idea to use the unmanned aircraft to watch over next year's runners and spectators. The Boston bombings killed 3 people and injured more than 260. The suspects were identified on videotape recorded along the marathon route by city and commercial security cameras. We'd love to hear from you about this story and all America's Now stories. Please write to us at an@cctv-america.com. Or you can send us a tweet. Our handle is @CCTV America's Now.